you know I'm swerving from left to right. All night. Would you call me old fashioned if I catch you in the rain in Manhattan? Oh, I can't wait until my lips are on yours. I can't help the way that I'm feeling. The way you look tonight is so appealing. Hold up, I need to pace myself. You're the bullet to my heart, I swear. I swear. Only took one shot. Only took one shot. The only thing I'll promise is I'll give you all I've got. Oh, you remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take a sip of you, baby, I'm swerving from left to right. Left to right. You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take two more shots, you know I'm swerving from left to right.
Yeah, look, alright. Now pretty bird.
Hey. Wasn't ready. I thought I was going to hear the rap. But hey, everybody out there in Twitch land. Nope. Okay. Okay. But hey, everybody, what's smacking? How you crack-a-lacking? How you crack-a-lacking? What's smacking? Guess I'll say that again in a few minutes. When is somebody in here to say it to? Hey, Locke, what's up? How you doing today? It's just us. Yeah. Okay. So shall I just sing for the peoples or something? I don't know what I should do. Spin the lazy Susan of liquor all around. Just entertain myself with some 8th grade antics until I can say hello to some people. I swear to God, you resub every stream. Happy 17 months, but it seems like every stream you resub. But thank you. Hey, Lainey Star, how you doing? I know you're busy multitasking and all of that, but I do have your book information going through Stream Elements. So there is that. And yeah. So anyway, Lainey, what you got going on today? What you doing? What's going on? Are you busy working on your next thing? Your next big thing? Hey, London. You are very welcome for your gift sub. Enjoy that. Okay, editing. All right. Yeah. Check out Lainey Star, and that information is going to be going through Stream Elements about her coloring books. She has 2 coloring books for kids. And so it'll be there so people can click directly on the link and they can order your book through Amazon. So, but congratulations to you on your endeavors. I am very proud of you and very happy that you're taking this step and you've been bitten by the bug and you're going to keep going and there's more to come. So that's a wonderful thing. So, whoop. Oh, we got a hype train. Oh, because of the resubs. Yeah, because Locke resubs like every stream. That's the reason why. So anyway, so yeah, what y'all been doing? I mean, happy Thursday. What's your week been like? Like, I mean, so what have you been doing this week? I know this week for me has been not too bad. It's been, I don't know, somewhat reflective, I guess is a good way for me to put it. I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. Thinking about a lot of things that have to do with the show though. And then just some other stuff. And okay, roller coaster in a hurricane. Wow. That's a description. That is okay. Yeah, that's like the whole, what a week this day has been, or what a month this week has been, all of that. Yeah, that's very vivid. I agree. Hey, Stormy, how you doing today? How you macking? What's crack-a-lacking and what's crack-a-lacking? How you macking? Stormy, did you get a chance to check out the Crown Blackberry? I know we had a little bit of dialogue about that. Or is it not available in your area yet? You have to let me know about that. You have to let me know what your opinion is of that once you try it. Hey, Lioness Nala, how you doing? What's going on? Ooh, I like that. I like the hands with the heart. That is super cute. Whose emote is that? Hover over that. Somebody tell me. Who is that? Oh, Real DJ. Real DJ. Real DJ 2? 2 heart hands. That's the name of it. That's really cute. I like that. Okay, Real DJ. Oh, Real DJ Yoshi. All right. I like that. That's really cute. Okay, not released until tomorrow. Yes. In the drink, it's delicious. As a shot, if you went back and watched the show, we didn't really care for it too much as a shot. Kind of tasted like tussin. But in a drink, it was really, really good. So if you have not tried the Blackberry Crown, we did give it a 4. I think that was like our overall rating, and a 5 in the cocktail. Like, it was delicious in the cocktail. So yeah, make sure you get that. All right, make sure you get that. So I am Lisa the X, aka Brown Whiskey Woman, Executive Bourbon Steward at your service. And today I am going to be talking to you all about taking risk, because I am going to be taking some risk. I have 7 things that I have never tried before that I am going to try and give a rating on. So this should be very interesting. I am looking forward to it. It will be just a tasting because I am not trying to get drunk. I'm not even trying to get tipsy. I'm just trying to taste it and give an honest opinion on what I think. And you all know my face shows all. So whatever I think of it, you'll be able to tell. And I am going to give it true ratings 1 to 5. Not to mention, I have something over here to the side that I'm going to show you later that I have been curing, that I've been working on. So I'll talk about that later. But you all know I always start off with my review from last week. So last week I did my Black History show. And one of the things that I discussed was Tom Bullock. So Tom Bullock was one of the first well-known Black bartenders, and he worked at the St. Louis Country Club. And he was so famous that people would come there just to see him. He's the first African American to write a drink recipe book. So I ordered the book, and this is it. It's called The Ideal Bartender by Tom Bullock. And this is a reprint from 1917. And I felt like it was really important that I have this on my shelf because this is part of Black history. I did not know he was the first African American to write a recipe book. I had heard of this gentleman before, but I did not know he was the first. So I had to purchase this. So I got this through Amazon, and it was about $12, I think. And it has some really interesting recipes in it. I have to put on my glasses. And this book was printed in 1917. So you guys got to, kind of give it a pass on some of the recipes. But I'm just going to read one. And I said that I would love to make something out of this. But like one of them is called a continental sour. And it says, fill a large bar glass, 2/3 full of shaved ice, 1 teaspoonful of bar sugar dissolved into a little water, juice of half of a lemon, 1 jigger of whiskey, brandy, or gin as preferred. Shake, strain into a sour glass, dash with claret, and serve. And claret is a type of wine, just so you know. But that's one of the recipes called a continental sour. So this is just kind of the inside of the book, so you can see the pages, what it looks like. And it's called The Ideal Bartender by Tom Bullock. And last week I drank some Tom Bullock Burnt Orange Bourbon, which was absolutely delicious. So if you missed that show, go back and watch the replay on that because there was some videos. I had a video about Tom Bullock. I talked about the Black Bourbon Society, and then just some information about African Americans in the distillation industry, and how much of influence we had on that and how we were a big part of that as slaves. You all probably know about Nearest Green. I think everybody knows about Uncle Nearest, who taught Jack Daniels how to distill. So that's one of the more prominent stories, but we're interweaved throughout history, period. So we got to stop saying Black history is history. And I know we have Black History Month, and we'll take it. Shortest month, right? But we'll take it. But I want it to become history because it's all history. We're all part of history. So I'm gonna be trying some stuff today. So that's one of the things that we talked about. But the other thing that I've been talking about, and this is ongoing, and today is February 29th. So if there's any leap year babies out there, happy birthday to you. Okay? Because you get a chance to celebrate your birthday on the actual date today. But this is the 29th of February, and I have been doing this 29 gifts. So 29 gifts is about 29 random acts of kindness. I choose February as my month to do this. It can be directed, it can be very random in terms of a stranger. But this is a book written by Cammie Walker. I talked about it at the beginning of February. And this woman she was diagnosed with MS, and one of her spiritual healers or advisors gave her a script. And the script was do something for someone else for 29 days to take the focus off of yourself. And that will be something that will help you to feel better. And she talks about how she did this and how much better she felt at the end of the 29 days, plus all of the things that she received as a result. Every time I do it, and I've been doing it roughly for about 8 years, some miraculous things come into my life. And this year was no exception. This has been a very trying time for me because of a lot of other things that I had going on a personal level. But this February has been both difficult, but also very rewarding. And I do think it's because of the 29 gifts. And I hope that some of you all did some random acts of kindness during the month of February. And if you didn't, I hope that you will think about it in the future. I'm such a proponent of it because my motto in life is do all the good you can in all the ways you can for all the people you can as long as you can. And that is really my mantra, is my manifesto, is how I live every single day. So I did see that we do have a birthday. She's not in here, but it's Mish Mish's birthday today. And I was actually in DJ Alizé's stream earlier, and I saw where he wished her a happy birthday. So Mish, wherever you are, happy birthday. I hope you're having a good time. Knowing you eating some good food somewhere. Hope you didn't have to cook it. Hope somebody else cooked for you. But I hope that you're out having a great day and enjoying your birthday. So, okay, so Moni G came in and said, hello, chats. Hello, Moni G. So I'm going to get into talking about what I'm going to be drinking today and talking about risk taking. Hey, Living Life Golden. Because there's lots of information out there about risk taking and things about, are you a natural born risk taker? Is this something that's cultivated by personality? It's a lot of really fascinating information. And this is something I actually have looked at before because I'm very much interested in psychology. So anything that has to do with that, I'm going to read it. And I'm going to be trying to figure it out. And, I figure anything that we know about ourselves, anything that we can kind of look at that helps us to delve deeper into our personalities and who we are and who other people are, that's a good thing. That's a plus. That's a bonus. And it's something that is going to help you to understand people a little bit better, but most importantly, understand yourself a little bit better. So I am going to start off with something very, very obvious. It's going to be our hands. Okay, so I want everybody in the chat to take a look at their hand. Look at your dominant hand. And what you are looking at, and I'm going to go through the review before I tell you exactly what you're going to look at. So this is your thumb. This is your index finger or your pointer. This is your middle finger. This is your ring finger. And this is your little finger or pinky. Now, somebody might be saying, well, that's obvious. I knew that. But for clarity, I wanted to have a review of that. All right. So look at your hand. Look at your hand, your dominant hand. And what you are checking for is your ring finger, and this is the ring finger, longer than your index or your pointer finger? And I just want you to put it in the chat. Is your ring finger longer than your index finger? So look at your hand, put it in the chat. Is your ring finger longer? If it is, just put a yes. Okay, so Living Life Golden said longer. Yes. 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 Okay. Anybody shorter or about the same length? And you can't count your fingernail. Don't count your fingernail. This is actual finger length. Okay. Yes. Everybody, yes. All right. So everybody in the chat. Okay. About the same length. All right. So we got one person. It was about the same length. Okay. So science believes that if your ring finger is longer, you have a tendency to be a risk taker. And it has to do with how much testosterone you get in the womb. So men generally are going to have a longer ring finger. Women, it is not as common, but of course they do. So let me read something to you about that. It says men who experience a higher surge of prenatal testosterone and have a longer ring finger tend to be risk takers. They found this out by studying successful financial traders. And the ones that have the longest ring fingers, or the fourth finger, they tend to be more successful with the financial trading and more willing to take risks. For females, it says that it can be associated with certain personality traits such as assertiveness, confidence, and risk-taking behavior. What do you all think about that? It's kind of interesting, right? And I'm just going to tell you, hand reading is a whole thing, like face reading. But hand reading is the thing. And I could have really gone down a rabbit hole on this because this is something that I've read a lot about. And I've studied to a certain degree, but I was like, nah, we here to drink whiskey. We here to talk about some liquors. So I didn't want to go too deep on that. Now, Stormy, you said yours are about the same length. When they are about the same length, that's an indicator of better balance. So you probably would be a person that would be more inclined to weigh the consequences. You're probably a little bit more grounded, they would say, or a little bit more likely to say, let me really think this over before I make a decision. Now, don't get me wrong, personality comes into play as well as upbringing in terms of your risk taking. But the longer finger length is supposed to be an indicator of a natural born risk taker, and it has to do with the level of testosterone. And I thought that was interesting. I will tell you all that mine is longer. No surprise, right? And I have some survey questions, some poll questions that I'm going to be asking you all later on. We're going to be on the poll that basically correlate to how much of a risk taker you are. So we're going to have some fun with this. This ought to be really, really interesting. Okay, Stormy said, yeah, you can kind of see that, but it depends. And it does depend because some people are more willing to take risk in some areas than others. And when I get into the questions that we put on the poll, you're going to see what I mean by that. That in some areas you may be like, yeah, I'll take a risk here, but then I would never do this. So it does all very much depend on, kind of, like I said, all of those factors, upbringing, who you are, experiences, because of course, experiences will definitely shape you. If you've taken a risk on something and it didn't turn out well, you might not be as willing or eager to take a risk again. There's lots of things that will factor in that will change some of that risk-taking behavior. But the hand, that's supposed to be an indicator. And like I said, you look at your dominant hand. You can also look at the other hand too. I think it's just interesting to look at both of them and see, are they the same? And I had to get a ruler to measure mine because my fingernail is longer on my ring finger. So I was like, this is kind of deceiving, even though I felt like I already knew the answer to it. But I did have to double check because I wanted to be accurate. Definitely wanted to be accurate. So last week, somebody came in here and they were mentioning me having barrels in people's basements and doing my own whiskey. And I don't have any barrels in anybody's basement or anything like that. But guess what? I do have this. This is a age your own whiskey kit. I bought this at $3 for $3 in Ross. At Ross for $3. This is how much I spent on it. And this is when I started curing it. See the date on there? September 15th, 2022. This is whiskey. It is not considered moonshine, living life golden. The reason why it's considered whiskey, and you all really can't see this. Let me see. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. Maybe you can. There are oak staves in there, or staves. Do you guys see that? Can you see those in there? It probably just look like dark chunks of something in there. That's wood from an actual barrel. Hey, Marcia, how you doing? Happy Thursday. But anyway, hold it down. Can you see it? Can you see those chunks of wood in there? Those are staves. So staves are the portion of the barrel. So you see my little barrel here. So the wood staves, which would be like the planks that make up the barrel, that would be what is in here. So this is what gives the whiskey its flavor. Now the difference is that, of course, mine is in a jar. It's in a mason jar because I didn't have a barrel to put it in. But what I did was I added what they call a clear or basically a unflavored liquor. And then it got its flavor from the staves being inside of the liquid. So when this was maybe about 10 days old, I did taste it. Didn't taste half bad. Now it's been curing since September 15th, 2022. And I've not tasted it since then. So since we're talking about risk taking, I figured, why the hell not? I think I should taste it. Yes, Nala, it started off clear. I went with a unflavored moonshine. That is what I started with. So it's funny that somebody did put moonshine in the chat. I think that was living life golden. I did start with an unflavored moonshine because I figured that was the closest thing to bourbon, like a base of a bourbon. But bourbon is made from grains. Okay, whiskey is made from grains, usually wheat, barley. There's going to be things like that in it. So I don't have all of that. I don't have a still. I can't ferment. I can't do that whole distillation process. So this was a hack, basically. So I started with an unflavored moonshine, put the staves in it, and then I put it in a dark place in my house, and I let it age. So I figured, let's taste it. It's been aging for a couple of years, right? It's 2024. And this is September 15, 2022. It smells delicious. I'm going to just say that. Story said that's a hell of a risk. Well, remember, I've already tried it. I already had it. So I'm just going to pour a little bit up. It looks good. Smells good too. And I'm gonna read this. Let me read this first before I taste it. Okay, let me put on my glasses so I can read. It says, kit includes cheesecloth strainer, which I did have that on the top of it, oak barrel aging staves, and a whiskey aging guide. It says, this allows you to quickly barrel age whiskey right in your jar Simply add the oak charred barrel staves and watch your spirits age into whiskey. This is created by W&P Design, Brooklyn, New York, handcrafted in the United States of America. So step 1 was add the spirit to the mason jar. Step 2, add the charred oak barrel aging staves. Step 3, watch your spirit age into whiskey. $3 at Ross. Just found it on a lark. So this is my whiskey. This is some brown whiskey woman whiskey. So I'm going to taste it. I'm going to smell. Ooh, y'all, this smells good. I don't know what the proof is on that, but that's strong. This is some real whiskey right here. This is, yeah. It's good. It has a very good flavor to it, but it's strong. I have no way to test the proof because, of course, I don't have the equipment or anything like that to do that. But it's tasty. This is tasty. It gives you the Kentucky hug, that burn going down the throat. If you a lightweight, this will probably put a hair or two on your chest. So if you got no hair on your chest, come have some brown whiskey woman whiskey. That's what I'm going to call it for lack of a better name. But yeah, this is some liquor. This is some liquor. But it's got a good flavor. And I could see this being really good in a cocktail. I really could. Now, if I was going to drink this neat, I think I would not drink it neat, which this would be considered neat. I'd add some ice to it. Might add a little room temperature water to it to kind of bring out the flavor a little bit. But I feel like this is as good as anything that's out there on the shelf. I'm going to tell you that. So yeah, this is good. So diluting it, if you add water to it, just room temperature water, that generally is going to open up the flavor a little bit. That's generally what your whiskey aficionados are going to tell you. So how it opens up the flavor is when you would take like a dropper and you just put a couple of drops in there. So basically it's kind of expanding the palate a little bit, the taste palette just a little bit. It's going to give it slightly softer edges where you can kind of taste the distinctive things that are in it. You get the tasting notes a little bit better. Now, when you put ice in your drink, when you put ice in your whiskey, you're closing down your drink. So it's like containing the flavor because it's like freezing it right where it is. So you don't get all of the tasting notes with it. But generally, when we have cocktails, we want them to be cold. We don't want to drink room temperature things. So that's pretty much what it means when they say open up a drink or close a drink. Those are things that they say in the whiskey industry. But if you really just want to get a good taste of how does it taste, I always say taste it neat first and then make adjustments. A couple of room temperature drops of water. And if you go to like a tasting or a flight, this is something that they would tell you about. Or if you want to close it down and kind of just arrest it right there where it is, that would be ice. So the brown whiskey woman whiskey, tastes pretty good to me. But yeah, I take it. Yes, it's got a kick though. So I'm going to put it to the side because I got other stuff to taste. So I got a whole bunch of stuff here. Take a look at this. Behold. I got 7 things to taste. These are things that I have never, ever had before. So I'm going to spin the Lazy Susan so that you can see. So I've never had any of these. I went to Total Wine and More here in the Atlanta area. And I just looked at the miniatures. And, one of the things I tell you all, if you want to try something, a good way to try it is with the miniatures or with like a half pint. Or a pint, like the smallest quantity. That way you're not spending a bunch of money on something and you don't know whether you like it or not. Because whiskey, liquor, period, is not cheap. And you're spending your hard-earned money on it. So I tell people do the miniatures. The miniatures are usually going to be about somewhere between about $2 and maybe you might spend $6 for a miniature, maybe $9 at the top of the scale, depending on what it is. So all of these, though, I think were in the maybe $2 to $3 range. I think I have one, which I don't remember which one it is, that was a little bit more. It might have been like $6. Probably was a Scotch that was a little bit more. I just went over to the miniature stand because they have a bunch of them at Total Wine. And I just picked some things that seemed interesting to me and things that I had never had before. Now, when you go to a tasting or a flight, what they're generally going to do is they're going to give you several choices, usually about somewhere between about 3 to 5 choices is usually what you get. I have 7 because it's me, okay? And I can do what the hell I want to do, right? And I'm taking a risk today. So you have either room temperature water to sip between to cleanse your palate, or you have these. These are the lovely little Cars table crackers, and they were on sale, so you see that big sale sticker that I couldn't get off. But Cars table crackers, and they taste like nothing. These are basically like communion crackers, I guess. They really don't have a taste. Hey, Joy, how you doing? They really don't taste. They don't have a taste at all, which is good because you are clearing your palate, and you don't want to add some flavor or anything to your palate or to your mouth. You're trying to keep it clear so that you can taste the next thing and get the real tasting notes. So in between, I'm going to be crunching some crackers. So of course, I just had my own whiskey. So I broke off a cracker. I don't necessarily have to eat a whole one. But I broke off my cracker so I can do my first tasting. So I'll put on my glasses so I can read to you all. So the first item is called BSB 103, High Altitude Brown Sugar Bourbon. It says bourbon whiskey with natural brown sugar and cinnamon flavors added. It's made by Heritage Distilling Company. That's what the bottle looks like. I'll show you all that. And I bought this one because of the brown sugar and the high altitude. I'm going to tell you all, I have no idea what that means. I don't know what high altitude distillation means. I don't know anything about that. I guess it's done in high altitude. This is something I need to read up on. But that's the great thing about doing this show is that I always find out something about whiskey that I didn't know that I need to research, that I can spend more time learning a little bit more about. But hey, that's this. Hey, DJ Funk Lord, how you doing? You said them dry ass wafers? They're to cleanse our palate in between all the things I'm tasting today, Funk Lord. That's what they're for. So anyway, this fascinated me because of the brown sugar portion. So what I'm going to do, let me get my paper ready, because I want to give ratings on each of these, and I don't want to forget what rating I gave them. Because, if I drink all of this, if I taste all of this, ain't no telling. So I'm going to put my paper over here to the side. And my first one I'm going to write down is BSB 103. Let me see if I can get a proof on it also, because I didn't get that. I didn't read that. Okay, it is 103 proof. That's kicking right there. So brown sugar, natural brown sugar, and cinnamon flavors added. Heritage Distilling Company. See, anything else they want to tell us? Nope. That's all they got. All right, so we're going to taste it. So generally, if you go to a tasting or a flight for whiskey, they are going to pour what they say about 1 digit full. So the top digit of the finger, that's about what they're going to pour right there. So I could pour a little bit more if I wanted to really be legit on this tasting. So there we go. There's about my top digit. Okay. So I'm going to taste this. I'm going to see what it tastes like. I'm going to smell it. I'm going to nose it first. I really don't smell anything. It doesn't smell like brown sugar. It doesn't smell like cinnamon. It doesn't smell like anything. If Malik was here, he would say it smells like liquor, but it doesn't smell like liquor. It actually smells like rubbing alcohol. I'm kind of nervous. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, here goes. Okay. Woo. Okay. As it was going down, I did taste the brown sugar. I did taste the cinnamon. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like this. So BSB 103, High Altitude Brown Sugar Bourbon. You get a no from me. You get a no. So on a scale from 1 to 10, or 1 to 5, sorry, I'm going to give that like a 1. Because I didn't like it. Now, I'm going to say this. If you like cough syrup with some brown sugar in it, maybe you might like that shit. I don't know. But I did not like that. So that's a no. Moving on. Back to my cracker. All right. So my next one. It's called Catch Fire Cinnamon Flavored Whiskey. So Catch Fire, it is 80 proof. This is, the cinnamon whiskeys, Fireball and Jack Daniel's Fire and Jim Beam, all of those. But I've never heard of this one. Catch Fire Cinnamon Flavored Whiskey. So that's what the bottle looks like. I'm going to taste it and see what it tastes like. Ooh, that one had a little gurgle to it. I like that. That other one didn't. All right, so I'm going to nose it. Ooh, now I do smell the cinnamon right off. It smells like a cinnamon red hot. Now this one is good. I like this. Now I'm not a big fan of cinnamon flavored whiskeys. I've had a few that I liked, but for the most part, if I go into a bar, I'm not going to order a cinnamon flavored whiskey. Stormy Water says she hates cinnamon flavored whiskey, but this is good. This is pretty smooth. Definitely can smell the cinnamon, can taste the cinnamon. This is good. Okay, so Catch Fire. Let me write that down. On a scale from 1 to 5, I think I'm going to give this Catch Fire about a 4. This was pretty good. I like this. Okay, so let me have my cracker. All right. So this one, I admit I bought it because I just like the name. It's called Scatterbrain Peanut Butter Whiskey for your nutty side. It is 70 proof, and I don't know how well you can see it, but look at the elephant's glasses. Can you all see that? They're like foil, so it's kind of reflective, and I thought that was really, I don't know, that bottle just kind of intrigued me a little bit. Yeah. So this is called Scatterbrain Peanut Butter Whiskey. Has anybody ever tried this? Because I know peanut butter whiskeys are really popular. Okay, so Stormy says Scatterbrain isn't bad, but it's sweet. Okay. So this is my first time trying Scatterbrain. I've had Screwball before, and Screwball is pretty good. And I've also had Bird Dog, and that one was pretty good as well. So let's pour that up. It has a thickness to it. When I poured it, I just want to kind of point that out. The other two were like thinner, but I don't know how well like you guys can kind of see on the overhead shot. but it has more of a thickness. Viscosity is what they call it, actually. So, hey, Fudge, how you doing today? So, Fudge, I'm in here taking some risk and trying some new shit that I never tried before. So, I'm doing Scatterbrain Peanut Butter Whiskey. So, I'm nosing it. It doesn't really smell like peanut butter to me. It has a peanut smell, but not peanut butter. Not peanut butter, but it has a peanut smell. All right, so let me taste it. It is very sweet. Now, it tastes like peanut butter. This is not bad. This tastes like peanut butter, but it is very sweet. So, Stormy, I see what you're saying about the sweetness of it. But this is good. This is good. I would put this up there with Screwball. I like it. So I'm going to say the Scatterbrain on a scale from 1 to 5. I think I'm going to give Scatterbrain, I think I'm going to give this a 4 also. And you might be wondering what is keeping me from giving it a 5. Like for me, a 5 is like stellar. You got to blow me away. Like I'm just like, yeah. And not, you would think that, okay, does it cost more so it tastes better? Not always, because there's some bottom shelf stuff. There's some middle shelf stuff that taste pretty damn good. Just because it costs a lot of money doesn't necessarily mean that it is the best. Like I like Old Forester. Old Forester is the first bourbon ever made ever put into a bottle. Okay. It was in a barrel and then they put it into a bottle. So it is the first. Old Forester is good. Old Forester is good, solid bourbon. Old Forester might be $20, $30 a bottle. It's not a whole lot. So somebody said something about Old Thompson's. Okay. Old Thompson's is like rock gut. I think I've tasted Old Thompson before and it's okay, but I don't necessarily think that just because something costs more, it's better. But I do think you have to try some different things and see what agrees with your palate. Because I've had some very, very expensive whiskey and I was like, me, whatever. And then I've had some that were not nearly as expensive and I was very impressed with them. So I don't know. For me, it seems like my sweet spot is somewhere between about maybe $50 to maybe about $100. It seems like a lot of the things I've had in that category were really good. But then I've also had some really great whiskey that was like 30 or 40 bucks. So I think it just depends. And you got to try it out. So Lock and Key said he cooks with Old Thompson's. I think that's what he soaks his the chips in that you barbecue with. Am I right? That you grill with? Because Old Thompson's is inexpensive, right? But it is whiskey and it's going to get that whiskey smoke on the meat. So that's a good thing. So yeah. Your wood chunks for grilling. Okay. All right. So let me have my little cracker here. And so now I have tasted three of these, right? I'm going to taste this one and then we're going to do a couple of poll questions about, are you a risk taker? So this next one, let me read it. It is called Twisted Tea, smooth and sweet tea whiskey, crafted with real whiskey, 65 proof, made with whiskey natural flavors and real brewed tea. Now this one, I have seen this on the shelf. I've seen this in a liquor store before, and I've always been a little bit curious about it, but I've never tried it. Never tried it. So this is my first time trying it. I'm taking a risk today. So this is it. So let's see. This is probably good cold. This is what I would think. So let's pour a little bit of that up. Looks like tea. I can say that much. And it smells like tea and liquor. Okay. That's what it smells like. Tea and liquor mixed together. Okay. This is good. It tastes an awful lot like tea. Um, Honestly, drinking it, I'm not really getting a kick on the liquor, but I like it though. I can see this being a really good drink, like for a gathering, a barbecue, a get together. But the proof is only 65. That's kind of a low proof in the whiskey or the liquor world. So I'm imagining that's why I have more of the tea taste as opposed to the liquor taste. But if you're not really a drinker, yeah, you would probably like this. Yes, you would probably like this. This is a good one. Yes, more of a mixed drink. Exactly, Lioness Nala. More of a mixed drink. This is good though. And again, chilled. I could see this. I could also see this being one that sneaks up on you. Like probably if people have a little bit of this or a lot of bit of this, they probably would be drunk. Okay, so Locke said that's some K-Lock safe liquor. Yeah, probably so, because you really cannot taste the liquor in this. But like I said, 65 proof is pretty low. All right. London, can you do some poll questions? Are you available to do some poll questions? Can we get up on the poll? Just drop a yes or no in the chat for me if you can, because I want, okay, great. All right. So London, you have the questions. I'm going to start with number one. So these questions, I'm going to set this up here for just a minute, and I'm going to come back to it. Continue the tasting. Okay. Funklore, we all finna get on the poll. Everybody finna get on the poll. So the questions that we're about to ask have to do with risk-taking behavior. So we're going to put them up in poll form so that nobody in here feels like they being singled out and people all up in their business and all that stuff. Because, even though we 8th graders and we just whisper and ha-ha and kiki and all of that, the questions are not 8th grade questions. The questions are adult questions. All right. So, London, I want to start off with number one, the very first question. And then when you get that up there, you all will have an opportunity to vote. So this is interactive. So chat, please participate. Put your answer in there. And there it is. So the first one is, have you ever gambled in a casino? So if you can't see the whole thing, I'm going to just read it out for you because I know they're going to have to abbreviate some things because, Twitch only give you so many damn characters and all of this. They got all these restrictions and rules and guidelines and shit. So the poll is up. Have you ever gambled over $100 in a casino? Yes or no? Over $100. So please vote in the poll. Okay, so that's question number one. And what I want you all to do is keep track of your scores. Okay? Keep track of how many yeses you have. All right? That's important for your overall score. And this is on the honor system, as they say in school. So we're going to trust you to grade your own paper. All right? That's the 8th grade part. Okay. Okay, Lenny, you said you gambled at Dave & Buster's. Does that count? Did you gamble over $100? Because we'll go with it. Okay, so no. Overwhelmingly no. Okay, but keep track of your own personal score. Okay. Hey, LaWanda, how you doing today? All right, let's go to question number 2. So for question number 2, we got no, overwhelmingly no on question 1. So I'm going to just put that down. But on question number 2, it's going to be a list of activities. And we're going to ask you, have you ever engaged in any of these activities? Or other is also going to be a choice. So these are extreme activities, risk-taking activities. So let's get the next one up. Let's get number 2 up. And we're going to ask you, have you ever engaged in any of these activities? And while we're waiting for that to go up, has anybody ever tried any of these things that I have on the Lazy Susan? I know Stormy said that she tried the Scatterbrain peanut butter. So she said it was kind of sweet. Has anybody ever tried the twisted sweet tea? The sweet tea whiskey, twisted tea? If you have, let us know and kind of give us your thoughts on that. Like if you liked it or didn't like it or what you thought. Okay, you had the tea before. So Linus Nala, did you like the tea? What'd you think about that? Because I like that. I think I would do that one again for sure. And then the other one was the Catch Fire Cinnamon Whiskey, which I had never heard of that. I've heard of Fireball. I've heard of Jack Daniels has one. I think Jim Beam has one. I did a whole show on cinnamon whiskey. And then this other one, this BSB, which I don't know what BSB, Brown Sugar Bourbon. I guess that's what it stands for, but it was some BS. But BSB 103, maybe 103 is the altitude. I didn't do any research on any of these because, yeah. Oh, better on ice. I can imagine that. Ice or chilled. I could see that because it tastes just like tea. So, okay. So the poll is up. Have you ever engaged in any of these activities? Bungee jumping, skydiving, extreme rock or mountain climbing, or other? So other, of course, would be any extreme scuba diving. Did you jump off of a mountain? Did you jump off of a garage when you were a kid? Like I did do that. I jumped from one garage to the other garage. Okay, let me clarify that. I didn't jump off the garage. We were jumping between garages. The boys was doing it. They dared me. I wanted to do it. Okay, so just to give you a little peek into Lisa's childhood, I did do stuff like that. So bungee jumping, skydiving, extreme rock climbing, scuba diving, or other. And if you've never engaged into any of these, then just, okay. All right, so one person, keep track of your score. If you didn't, so what counts as other is anything extreme. So scuba diving would be extreme. I mean, they only give you so many slots for choices, so I couldn't do everything. But what you consider to be extreme. Just think about something that you did that you're like, I would have never. Maybe when you did, like if you did hang gliding, or what's the one you do over the water, where people do that, where it's over the ocean and you're on a hang glider, but it has a name. I can't think of it. Okay, Stormy said, I have never done any of this nonsense. Got it. Okay, like I said, make sure you're keeping track of your score. Okay, so this third one, question number 3, right? Question number 3. So we got other. People say other on that one. Have you ever, and I'm going to wait till London gets it up there. Have you ever? This is a yes or no. So I want you to, again, keep track of your answers here. So she's going to get that up. And then I'm gonna talk about the other things that I have left to try. I actually have one to try that it's a moonshine. It's called bourbon. It's called Broken Hill. Gosh, I can't even read. Broken Hill chocolate ice cream moonshine. Fascinating. So the poll is up. Have you ever engaged in any risky sexual activity? Now, if y'all need me to tell y'all what risky sexual activity is, get out of here. Okay? Just get out of here. Because you know what the hell they mean when they say risky. Okay? I don't have to do that. Yes or no? That's the reason why we not, y'all just go ahead and put it in the poll. Keep track of your own score. Grade your own paper. All right? And be honest. Don't lie. It's just a poll. We ain't gonna judge you. This is a judgment-free zone. We don't talk about stuff. We ain't gonna talk about you like that. Not at least in your face, just behind your back. Okay. Okay, Stormy, what you say? Some people in this day don't think it's risky. True. That is true. There are a lot of things. Okay, so we got an overwhelming yes on that. There are a lot of things that people do that they're really not thinking about. Is it risky? And the answer is yes, it is. So I would think that probably most people would answer yes to this because when you really break it down, probably yes, you have. London, put up He-Man and the shimmy and Lisa, all the emotes. Woo, yeah, all of it. All of it. Okay. Okay, we're going to do one more. We're going to do number 4, and then I'm going to go back to the liquor. And then London, I'm going to just tell you to have number 5 ready. But let's do number 4. Let's go to number 4. And this one is about school. So since we're 8th graders, I figure I got to throw a question in there about school. And if you all are wondering where these questions came from, they're kind of a mix of questions. So some of them came out of Psychology Today. Some of them came from the whiteboard of my mind. Some of them probably came from something that I read on the internet somewhere about risk-taking behavior. Hey, Cruz, how you doing? And for the people that just came in while we wait for that question to go up, when we first came in, hey, Forest One, we looked at our hands. Look at your dominant hand. Is your ring finger, and this is your ring finger here, longer than your index finger or your pointer? If your ring finger is longer, that is a sign, per some scientists, that you are a natural born risk taker. It means you got more testosterone in the womb, and therefore it's an indicator that you may be a natural born risk taker. Of course, there are other factors that come into play, like your personality, your upbringing, your experiences. All of those things would come into play as to how much of a risk taker you really are. But that's the indicator. So the people who just came in, take a look at your hand. Don't count your fingernail. You have to count the actual finger length. I had to get a ruler because my fingernail was throwing me off to see. I thought it was, and for me, it was. My ring finger is longer. But, I could tell you all some real crazy stories about me as a kid that, I don't know, they probably wouldn't really, really surprise you. But I was an interesting child. I was a very interesting child because I definitely took some risks. I definitely did some things because I was the girl in a gang of guys, right? I was the girl that had like friends that in the neighborhood, but it was always like a group of little boys. And it might have been myself and like one other girl. So the boys, of course, they were always doing things. And I was like, I don't want to be left out. So because I didn't want to be left out, I would do it too. Like jumping between garages. Because I grew up in Detroit and the houses are pretty close together. And so we would jump from one garage to another garage and then back and forth. And that was fun to us. That was sport. Did a lot of climbing of trees and picking of cherries and doing all different kinds of stuff like that. Cherry trees, not the other kind of cherries, cherry trees. Just stuff like that, like riding a bike, popping wheelies, riding a big wheel and, spinning out in the street. And it wasn't so much that I was a tomboy, but it was just more, I was just trying to hang with the boys because I was like, anything they can do, I can do. They not going to outdo me. They not going to beat me. And I still somewhat had that attitude about things. Like I really don't like it when I feel like something is mastering me. I would rather master it. For instance, when I came here today, there was a bottle that I had problems opening and Locke was like, you want me to get that for you? I was like, no, I don't want you to help me. I can do it. It's simple, but it's a big deal to me. So do we have a 4th one up? Am I missing that? London? Cruz? Somebody? Did I miss that? I know I was talking. Okay, there it is. Okay. In school, would you ever raise a question to challenge the teacher? Yes or no? So the teacher is giving you these facts. Okay, thank you, London. I'm sorry. The teacher is giving you this fact or this lesson. Would you ever raise a question to challenge the teacher? So vote, keep track. Okay. London, I know the answer to yours. Answer for me is yes. Answer for me is yes. And actually, on all of these questions, the answer is yes for me for all of these so far. Okay. So please vote. Hey, Q Vision. Okay, you went to Catholic school where you get hit with the ruler. I did too. I went to Catholic school too, but I don't know. I really didn't even care about that. I would still challenge the teacher. Okay, so overwhelmingly, we got a yes on this. Okay. All right, so those are the first 4 questions. Now we have 4 more questions that we're going to do. So London, I'm just going to ask you to prepare number 5, and then I'll tell you when to put that up. Okay. And then I'm going to get back to the liquor tasting. Okay. But get number 5 ready. All right. So number 5, and I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on number 5 is this one. This is called Grangestone Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey with a Sherry Cask finish. It's matured and bottled in Scotland. In order to be Scotch, it has to be bottled in Scotland. It's a double maturation process. It is specially selected white oak cask and finished in premium sherry cask. And I know that's a whole lot of words, and you're like, what does that mean? So basically, they aged the Scotch, then they took the Scotch out of the barrel that it was in, and they put it in a cask that previously held sherry. So that's what gives it the finish. This is 80 proof, 40% alcohol by volume. So that's 80 proof. And it's from the Whiskey Collection. That is what the bottle looks like. I want to show you all that. So this is a Scotch. Now, I know some of you all might be wondering, like when I talk about whiskey is the category. And then under whiskey, you have Scotch, you have bourbon, you have Japanese whiskey, you have moonshine, and you have Canadian whiskey. All of those things are under the category of whiskey. So you kind of think about, you have automobiles, but then you have a different model or make of automobiles. You have SUVs, you have minivans, you have sports cars. All of those would be categories under automobile. Same kind of thing. So we're going to taste this. I am a fan of Scotch, though on this show, I really don't talk about Scotch very much. I do drink Scotch, and I like it. Scotch is a little bit softer than bourbon is, but bourbon is my first love. Hey, not your average guy. How you doing? Hey, Miss Frenchie. She said to take all of them. So I am going to taste this. I'm going to nose it first, which means I'm just going to smell it. Smells really nice. Very pleasant. Scotch has a very pleasant smell to me. It is very gentle, kind of to the senses. It definitely smells like alcohol, but it's like an aroma that's very, very gentle. I smell like a little bit of vanilla is how I would describe it. Very, very faint. Very faint. And I do smell the fruitiness of the sherry, because remember, sherry is sweet. So it has that fruitiness. So let's try it. This is good. I like it. So Scotch is different. It is not as strong as bourbon would be, certainly not as strong as moonshine would be or something like that. But it has a smoothness to it. It's very smooth over the palate. I could see this straight. I'm going to tell you, I could see it neat, just like it is, because this is a good sipper. But this is a good sipper for a person who likes Scotch. If you are not a Scotch drinker, if you're not generally a whiskey drinker, it may seem harsh to you, but if you are a Scotch drinker, this is very, very smooth. So on a scale from 1 to 5, I think I got to give, let me make sure I'm writing it down, Highland, because I'm trying to keep up with all my scores. Highland. This Highland, this might be a 4.5. Because I told you to be a 5, it's got to like blow me away. But I like that. I could sip that. All right. So I'm having my little table crackers. Remember my Cars table crackers that taste like absolutely nothing. Fresh air and disappointment with a crunch. But anyway, they cleanse the palate. So you want to have regular room temperature water in between each of your tasting, or one of these tired crackers that taste like air and disappointment. So anyway, all right. So moving on to my next thing. And I'm getting to my end here. We have Ellington Reserve apple flavored whiskey. This is 70 proof, and it says flavored whiskey. Not much else information. That's what the bottle looks like. So you all can see that. So again, if you want to try something out and you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on it, buy some miniatures. Go to a place that sells miniatures and try some different stuff out before you spend money, big bucks, on a big bottle. So let's try the Ellington. This one has kind of a thickness to it when I poured it out as well. I'm gonna smell it. I smell the apples. It smells like fresh apples. It really smells nice. Okay. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, y'all, this might be our 5. Woo. I'm going to tell you, it kind of reminds me of like Jack Daniel's apple a little bit. Or a little bit like Crown apple. But a little bit smoother. Now there is a hint of something slightly bitter, like a little aftertaste. Real slight. But I bet you in a cocktail this would be delicious. I don't know if I would sip this one. I don't know. I might have to give it a 4.5 because I am getting a little bit of that after bite. So, yeah. Yeah, it's got a little bit of an after bite. I want to say I think Crown Apple might be just a tad bit smoother than this because it doesn't have that aftertaste. But this has a little bit of aftertaste to it. So, I thought I was going to give it a 5 on first try. I think I'm going to have to give it a 4. I think I'll give it a solid 4. So that's the Ellington Reserve. So I think I'm going to go with 4. So far my Scotch got the highest rating. Okay. So I have one more to taste. But London, I want to get back to our poll. So if we can put question number 5 up there. Question number 5. Again, keep up with your score. It's important that you keep up with your score. How many yeses do you have? I know I had one question about activities, but kind of keep up with your overall score. Okay. Yeah. The bitterness is a little bitter, like kind of reminds me of like bad, nasty toothpaste. That's what the like aftertaste is a little bit like. So yeah, let's go with the poll. Okay. So it says, would you get involved with someone who needed major fixing? Now, when I say major fixing, I want to give a little bit of, background on this, some qualifiers, right? Major fixing. No, they don't need to be spayed or neutered. What I mean is like a person who has some major personality things. And I'm saying like a person who maybe has some type of addiction issue, or perhaps they have some sort of mental illness, or even a chronic illness, or there's something about their personality. And I'm not downplaying any of those things in terms of being in a relationship. Or they have a major personality flaw or a major personality issue. Like, are they a chronic liar? Are they a pathological liar? Something like that. That's what I'm talking about when I say major fixing. Okay, y'all just said, nah. Nah, y'all ain't taking them kind of damn risks, right? You're like, no, we ain't doing it. I'm going to tell you for me also, the answer is no. I think a lot of it for me has to do with, hey, DJ Varmar, for me, partially is my age. Okay. And I'm not ashamed of my age. I will tell you all that this year in August, I will be 59 years old. So I never have a problem sharing that. And you all have been coming to the show. I was married for 20 years. I was with my husband for a total of 23. And he passed away roughly about 5 years ago now. So first of all, I want to say this. I know what it feels like to be loved. I know what it feels like to be in a good, healthy relationship. And neither one of us went into that relationship as perfect people. I'm still not a perfect people. That's what I said. Neither was he, but there was no major fixing that was required in that relationship. He let me be me. I let him be he. And we were happy together. And we had 2 kids and a little dog, and we were good. So, I want to put that out there, that that's part of, where my perspective comes from. I am, part of the work that I do is counseling. Okay. So I talk to people on a regular that need major fixing. And I am there to assist, and I am there to help in the role of counselor/therapist. However, do I want to be in a relationship with someone that needs major fixing? No, I do not. I do not. Now, I have compassion for people, and I understand that everybody needs something different, and nobody is perfect. We're all flawed human beings. So that is not lost on me, and I certainly have compassion, and I am always a listening ear for whoever needs a listening ear. However, I think that people need to take accountability for themselves. They need to take responsibility for themselves and get the help that they need, so that they're not taking that baggage into some relationship or some friendship and laying that on someone when they know they need help. So that's my soapbox, and I'll get down now. So, London, let's please move to number 6 on the poll. Let's get that up there. And let's ask this question, because again, all of this is about risk taking. And are you a risk taker? By nature, by personality? Again, did y'all look at your hand? The new people that came in, did you look at your hand? Is your ring finger longer than your index finger? That's an indicator. The longer ring finger is an indicator that naturally you are a risk taker. So let's get that next one in there. And then I'm gonna try this last one, which is some moonshine. That's some moonshine. I'm gonna pour that up while we waiting. This is the bottle. I want to talk about this a little bit. Oh, okay. London was quick. Okay. I wasn't ready for you to be that fast. But anyway, yay. Okay. Have you ever done drugs of any sort? Yes or no? Answer for me, transparency. The answer is yes. Because it says of any sort. And you better not lie. Thank you, London. You better not lie. You better don't. So of any sort. And I mean, this is experimental. Have you tried them? I mean, I don't care if you smoke every day. That ain't, I ain't asking you that. I'm saying, have you ever done drugs of any sort? So, poll up. Okay. I'm going to pour this up. London, go ahead and that's number 6. Okay. So overwhelmingly, we got a yes. Not overwhelmingly. We got some people that say no, but we got yes to that. Okay, and we got 2 more questions to go. All right. So Lenny, go ahead and get number 7 ready to go. Just ready to go. And I want to talk about this last thing that I am trying here. This is called Shoe Crazy Broken Hill Chocolate Ice Cream Moonshine. Look at that. So this was fascinating to me because I have had shoe crazy wine. I actually bought it in Sam's Club and it was delicious. It was very delicious. Now you all know me and wine, right? I told you two things gonna happen to me. Either I'm gonna be sleepy or I'm gonna be horny. That's pretty much the way it's gonna go. When I drank the shoe crazy wine, it was the second one. I was not sleepy. I'll just say that. But I was at home alone. It was okay. It was all right. It was cool. It was good. Okay. All right. So Funklore said, no joke. I respect anyone who said no. I do too, Funklore. I do too. I mean, really, no judgment here. That's the reason why I'm doing this in terms of a survey or a poll, because I don't want anybody to feel judged by any measure at all, because that's not what this is about at all. If you don't, you don't, and that's great. Now, I already told y'all, look, I was jumping between garages when I was 8 years old. So did I do some drugs? Yep, I did. Stormy, did I say that? Did I say that? I just said I was at home alone. That's all I said. Did I add? Or did you add? And I was not completely alone. My dog was there. But I'm not into that. Though my dog behaves very much like he thinks he's my man, he's not. He also thinks he's my child and my daddy. So, all of that. But anyway, you read between the lines. Stormy, girl. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna pour this up. Okay, but London, go ahead and put the next question up, which is question number 7. And I'm gonna pour this up. Okay. I had to smell that in the jar. I love the little jar too. I think this is really cute. And let me look. Let me see if it has a proof. Okay, it's 50% alcohol by volume. 50% is like 100 proof. I'm shocked because usually moonshine, like regular store-bought moonshine, is not like that. But anyway, Shoe Crazy Broken Hill Chocolate Ice Cream Moonshine. All right. Forest One. No, it's not. I have been behaving. Hey, DJ D man. I don't smell anything. Okay. I smell, well, let me rephrase that. I smell a hint of chocolate. A hint of chocolate. But really, it doesn't have much of a smell, just a little bit of a chocolate. Okay, so the question was, would you take a job that you're only half qualified for? And 71% say yes. Okay. Y'all, you know you're half qualified for it. So keep track of your scores. Okay, so let me taste this. This is not bad. I definitely taste the chocolate, but let me tell you all, this kind of tastes like chocolate mixed with rubbing alcohol. I didn't get a Kentucky hug, but like right here, like right in this spot right here, I got a little burn. Like, I got a little burn right there in the cleavages. Yes, in the cleaves. In the cleaves, I got a little burn, like right there. I don't know about this one. And it's kind of making my eyes tear a little bit. Okay, on a scale from 1 to 5, I'm gonna have to get at a 3. Because I think they kind of messed that up. I think it could have been all right if maybe they had lowered the proof a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna get at a 3. I'm gonna review all of these stories. Stormy, I don't know what your cleaves look like, but Y'all seen my cleaves. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get at I'm gonna have to get at a 3. So I'm gonna review all of these. Yeah, and right there is where I felt that burn. It was like right in between them. Yeah. That's a, I don't know, crazy shoe. You crazy. Shoe crazy. Shoe crazy. You crazy as hell. You messed up that chocolate. And I like chocolate, okay? I like ice cream. I like all of that. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Do men have cleavage? Do men have, I guess if you have mandibles, you might have cleavage. Do men have cleavage? Moobs. Do men have cleavage? Yes or no? Y'all just put it in the chat, right? Yes. Some men have cleavage, some men have. Right there. Y'all see that? I'm gonna show you without getting in trouble. See that spot right there? That's where I felt it. Right there. Yep. Okay, that's your thrill for today. And the lights go out. I mean, I almost made it throughout the whole show without the lights going out. Okay. But anyway, so yeah. All right. Let's get our last question up. And y'all, this is the most important question. Most important question ever. And I'm going to give you all some context when I put it up after London puts this up. Do you all know the Christmas movie, The Polar Express? Are you all familiar with that? If you are not, first of all, I need you to check it out. But this is the deal. This little boy is in his bedroom, and this train called the Polar Express comes right outside of his bedroom. And the conductor, who is played by Tom Hanks, that's the voice of Tom Hanks, basically says, you coming or what? You getting on this magical train or not? He doesn't know where the train is going. He doesn't know anything, right? But it's a magical train. So this question has to do with whether or not you would get on the magical train. And the magical train is called the Polar Express. So let's get that question up there. Are you covering your moves? Do you have man cleave? Okay, I like it, Luanda, man cleave. Is man cleave like, could that be sexy though? Like, listen, I'm gonna just tell y'all, I have hard leans, right? When I say leans, hard leans. I identify as a heterosexual woman, but I like some good looking tits, and I'm gonna look. Like if you got them propped up there and they all looking pretty, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna look, and if they look good, I'm gonna say, girl, you doing it. They look good. Cause like tits are magical to me. I'm looking, just saying. Okay. And here we go. So Luanda said, if you like breasts on a man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. See, Stormy? See, you with me. And I'm telling y'all, I identify as a heterosexual woman. I mean, I have hard leans to a certain sex, to a certain, okay. And here we go. I told y'all this was not, I told y'all we're 8th graders and we talk about 8th grade shit. But no, we don't want the man to have them propped up. However, this is an adult show tonight. So would you get on the Polar Express train? I said plane, train. Ooh, I love y'all. See, y'all are my people. 67% said yes. I'm telling y'all, I would hop on that train so damn fast. If the train came outside my bedroom right now today, I would get on that bitch. I would get on it. I would be like, I don't care where we're going. It's a magical train. I'm going on an adventure. Okay? I would do it. Yes, I would do it. Okay, now 33% said no. 2 people said no. Who's not getting on the Polar Express train? Who are you? Go ahead, confess. Confess. Go ahead and confess who you are. I just want to know who you are. I am getting on the magical train. I am. Because that's an adventure. I don't know where it's going. It doesn't matter to me. This train came into my bedroom in the middle of the night. It's magic. I'm getting on it. I'm doing it. Okay. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay. D-Man said, I'm not trying to get a woman. D-Man. You and the whooping. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. No, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me. Because you know what? I think I know who you are. I just think I feel it in the cleaves. Who you are. Who you are. So anyway, as the lights go out, turn the lights off on me. You got the emote. Tally up your score. And if you need a tie-breaking question, I have that for you. The mods don't have that. I have that for you. How many people have yeses? Like, how many yeses do you have? Majority rules. And don't count the one where you had options, because I know you had options on number 2. And I'm going to read all the questions back for the people who were not here. Number 1 was, have you ever gambled over $100 in a casino? The second was, have you ever engaged in any of these activities? Bungee jumping, skydiving, extreme rock or mountain climbing, or other? Have you ever engaged in any risky sexual activity? In school, would you ever raise a question to challenge the teacher? Would you get involved with someone who needed major fixing? Have you ever done drugs of any sort? Would you take a job you were only half qualified for? And the last, but the most important one, would you get on the Polar Express train? Okay, so those were 8 questions. Okay, so London said 5 yes. Hey, Blue Majesty, how are you? You've been lurking. So you have 2 no, 5 yes. Okay, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Okay, Stormy, 6 yes, 1 no. Okay. So see, I'm just going to say this. This is why you all are my people. This is why you're my people. So, okay, Funklord 3 yes. Lioness Nala said 5 yes. Cruz, all no's? Cruz? Really? Okay, Lock 3 yes. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you, the more yeses you have, the more you are a risk taker. That's basically what it amounts to. The more you had, the more you are a risk taker. And I want to read a couple of things, and this is more on a serious note of traits or attitude about risk taking, because this is the thing for me. I feel like that even though you may not be a natural born risk taker, in order to really succeed, in order to make some moves in life, sometimes you have to take risks. So these are some of the traits or the attitude of risk takers. Confidence and resilience. This is number 1. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. You're willing to take a leap and fail. And failing is hard sometimes, right? Because nobody sets out to fail. But sometimes you have to try something, see how it works out, and be willing to take the failure, be willing to take, the L on it in order to move forward. And Blue Majesty, I do hope you feel better. I know you've been under the weather, but I hope that you feel better. Please put some hearts in the chat for Blue Majesty. Send her some love and some healing and some prayers that she feel better and that she be 100% up to snuff real soon. Okay. Number 3, the willingness to be different, to be bold. And this is a hard one sometimes because we live in a world of groupthink. We live in a world where everybody kind of wants you to be a soldier and think what everybody else thinks. And so it's really, really hard sometimes to stand out and say, I don't agree with that, or that doesn't suit me. You all hear me say all the time that I'm horrible at rules. I really am. Guidelines, maybe I can follow some guidelines, but if you give me some rules, I'm going to break them shits. Like right off the bat, I'm going to figure out how to break them. Because as soon as you say it's a rule, I have an issue with that. Number 4, and thank you all for putting those hearts in the chat. And please know we are sending that in all authenticity and genuineness. Please know that. We're sending that right now across to you. Number 4, don't listen to negative people. I say it matters what the people say, but it matters who the people are too. Because some people are just negative. They're not on your side. They're haters. They don't want to see you succeed. And if they're negative all the time, you don't need to listen to them, particularly if you have a plan that you're trying to execute, something you're trying to do. Listen to yourself. I say all the time, I have a vision. I have this whiteboard of my mind, but I have an actual whiteboard that I write down ideas, and there's all type of stuff on that whiteboard. I don't let anybody see the whiteboard. It's mine. It's my ideas. Okay. But on the whiteboard are things that I want to execute, things that I want to bring to fruition. And I don't let anybody negative into that realm of the whiteboard of my mind or the actual whiteboard. So just something to keep in mind. Number 5, no regrets attitude, taking experiences as a learning tool. And I want to talk to this one a little bit because this one can be really tough to not have regrets. And I'm going to tell you all from, a very personal perspective right now. I am dealing with not having regrets about a particular situation in my life. And it is challenging the shit out of me to not have regrets about it. I keep going back and forth. It's like I don't want to regret it, but then there's a part of me that really does because it involves another person and I feel bad about that and I have guilt around it. And it's really hard for me not to have regrets, but I'm really working on what is the lesson in it? What am I trying to take away from this? What was it in it that I was supposed to see or recognize? And that can be really, really challenging, but that is something to keep in mind. Number 6, make a plan and take action. The take action part is the most important thing. I told you I do some counseling. I do some life coaching. People will make plans all day, every day, and they don't do jack shit. And what I tell my coachees is I am the coach. That means I'm on the sidelines. It is you that is on the hardwood. You are the player. You have to play the game. You have to take action. If you're not taking action, all the plans, everything I told you as a coach means nothing. Any plans you made mean absolutely nothing unless you take action. And then lastly, I want to leave you with this. Don't allow the good to get in the way of the great. And that is actually a quote from Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you've not read that book, I highly recommend it. Because a lot of times we get comfortable. We're complacent. We like where we are, and it's good, and there's nothing wrong with good. And I'm a firm believer in being satisfied and being grateful. But if there is something else that you want to do, take a risk. Do it. Because it's now or never. And earlier today in D-Man's stream, D-Man stated a quote. And it was about taking chances and taking risks. And I thought it was really apropos that he gave this. And D-Man, if you're still in the chat, I would love for you to put that in the chat, exactly what it is, because I don't want to paraphrase. But it was about basically taking a risk or doing what you needed to do today, right now, because tomorrow is not a day of the week. So what you're putting off till tomorrow doesn't really exist because it's not a day of the week. So whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is you want to execute, do it. They say life is short, but life is really long to be unhappy. It's really long to look back and say, I didn't do any of the shit that I really wanted to do. I didn't live the life that I wanted to live. That is extremely important. So while you may not go out to the casino, and okay, thank you, D-Man. Today, I plan to take the leap that will launch me on the right path. And D-Man, when you did that this morning, I thought, this is synchronistic because tonight I'm going to be talking about risk taking. So I already knew that. That was already the plan. So I was like, look at this. The universe is at work and putting us in tandem, putting us at sync with what you said. So today, I plan to take the leap that will launch me on the right path, because tomorrow is not a day of the week. So I want you all to think about that, and anything that you're trying to execute, anything you want to bring to fruition, take the risk. Now, I am not a gambler at the casino. $20 is the tops. That's the most I'm going to spend at the casino. I'm going to eat, I'm going to drink, I'm going to kiki, I'm going to kick up my heels and laugh and do all of that and look at the beautiful hotel in Vegas. $20 is all I'm gambling. Some of the other stuff on the list, am I going to do it? Yeah, I'm getting on that damn Polar Express train. If it come tonight, I'm going to be on it. Okay? Y'all will not see me next Thursday. Just saying. All right. So, but the whole premise of this show is about you thinking about where you're taking risks, what you really want, and put forward that effort, and I mean that on a very serious note. I always say intentions matter. Work on your intentions. What is it that you're really trying to accomplish? What is it that you're really trying to do while you're here? And put some effort toward that. And when you put effort toward it, you will be amazed. I mean, amazed with a capital A at what comes back to you and what you're able to achieve. Okay? I want to say that. Fuck, Laura, you said my new name is Choo Choo. So you're laughing at everything on the Express. Yeah. And listen, if y'all have never seen that movie, The Polar Express, you need to watch it. I started to, ask Kayla to show a clip of it, but I told him no videos this week because I absolutely love that movie. Just the whole premise of it, of, believing and kind of having faith and stepping out. I mean, it's a wonderful message within the movie, and it's a really good movie. The animation is really good. So, Amber Alert, have you seen this woman? So anyway, so I want to give my review of the whiskey. Let me get back to that. And for those of you who came in late, I have my own whiskey. D-Man, look. Aged my own whiskey. This was cured September 15, 2022. It has the staves in it. Those are the wooden pieces of a barrel. It's right there. I don't know how well you can see it. But I aged my own whiskey in this jar. And it's pretty damn good, if I say so. This is some brown whiskey woman whiskey. I wouldn't call it that if I was going to name it. But, for lack of a better term. But this is it. And it had a kick to it. This was some good shit. Just saying. They ain't gave me a barrel or a basement yet, but I'm working on it. And then I did talk about The Ideal Bartender by Tom Bullock. That is it right there. This is a 1917 reprint. This gentleman was the first African American to have a drink recipe book. And I talked about this last week on my Black History show. But I wanted to mention it again this week. And please order this on Amazon. I'm really hoping that all of the proceeds go to his estate. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm really hoping that they do. But that's the show. Let me give my review, my quick review. So the first thing that I tried was some BSOB, Brown Sugar Bourbon 103. High Altitude Brown Sugar Bourbon. This is it. And I gave that a 1. I did not like it at all. It was High Altitude Brown Sugar Bourbon. I didn't care for that at all. Gave that a 1. The second one was called Catch 5, which is the cinnamon whiskey. I gave it a 4. It was actually pretty good. Hey, Miss Riz, how you doing today? That's okay, Miss Riz. You never late. You always right on time. The next one was called Scatterbrain, which is a peanut butter whiskey. I gave that a 4. This was very tasty. A little bit on the sweet side, but I liked it. It was good. And then the next one was the sweet tea whiskey. This one tasted just like iced tea. This is really good for my non-drinkers, I'll say. This is really, really good. I actually am going to give this about, I think I might get a sweet tea whiskey like a 4.5 or a 5. This was very good. Maybe I'll go with a 5 because I didn't give anything a 5. I would give this a 5. And then we had a scotch called Granestone Highland Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. That's what that looks like. I gave that a 4.5. Very smooth Scotch. Really good. And then I had the Ellington Reserve Apple right there. I gave that a 4. Only because it had a little bit of an aftertaste. Kind of remind me of Crown Apple, but a little bit of an afterbite or taste. And then I had this Shoe Crazy. I keep calling it crazy because it was crazy. Shoe Crazy Broken Hill Chocolate Ice Cream Moonshine. I gave that a 3. I didn't really like that one. Really didn't like that one at all. Of course, I give my brown whiskey woman whiskey. Age your own, cured September 15, 2022. That's when I start aging it. I'm going to give my shit a 5 because it's mine. So that's the recap on my whiskeys. Also, I would like to speak to an event that happened this past Saturday. D-Man is in the chat, as well as Lock and Key Media. And they participated in the Pulling Up the Covers Raid Train. And Miss Riz was a part of that. It was, and DJ Funklore also. That was a phenomenal raid train. So first of all, I want to say thank you to D-Man for rocking with me, rolling with me. Okay? Because I know I pitched it to you and you were like, a whole raid train? I was like, a whole raid train. And you was like, okay. It was phenomenal. We had such a good time. Each one of the DJs brought something that was very unique. It was really, really a great raid train. We had Sincere the DJ, we had Funklore, we had Guzzle. And if I'm forgetting anybody, please, you all help me out. We had D-Man, we had Lock and Key Media, we had Miss Riz, we had Music Spasms. Did I cover everybody? I hope I did. It was excellent. It was excellent. And it was all about your favorite versions or I'll say versions of your favorite tunes. Cover. Get it right. There we go. There is the flyer for that. Sincere, Music Spasms, Miss Riz, DJ Funklore, Guzzle, K-Lock, and D-Man. It was the shit, y'all. It was so good. We are going to have a part 2. We're going to have a part 2 to that. So I want to thank you to everybody who participated. Thank you to the listeners who supported it. It was great. And a special thank you to D-Man for rocking with me on that because, you know, I have, like I told you guys, I have this whiteboard, right, with all these ideas on it. And sometimes they seem very abstract and strange to other people, but I always can see the vision on it. So I thank you so much. Please make sure you're following DJ D-Man. He's on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. EST. Make sure you're following Lock and Key Media. He will be on Sunday. I think he's going to be on Sunday. And then also make sure that you are following DJ Fudge. Make sure you're following Miss Riz. Make sure you're following DJ Funklore. All of our streamers, all of our DJs, y'all, there is enough to go around. And we have got to get into that abundance mindset that if we collaborate instead of compete, how much more we can achieve. So please, please follow them. Do you all have any questions about any of the stuff that I talked about? Or is there anything that maybe you all have tried that you want to drop into the chat before I tell you what I got coming up next? And hey, I love y'all, my fellow risk takers. I love y'all. Y'all would jump from garage to garage with me, right? If we were kids, you would do that, right? Y'all would do that. Say yes. Say yes, you would do it. Okay. Well, well, all right. So, okay, maybe not that, right? Yeah. Okay. So D-Man said that train is now in a 3-way tie with Rebomb and No Oblate. And my goal for Twitch, honestly, you all, is to bring some different things to you. That's where my ideas come from. We've been on Twitch like 4 years. It's time for some new stuff. And I have many, many ideas in the hopper. I will be partnering up with, I don't know who, you know, D-Man, you know we got something in the hopper. And even if you tell me you don't remember what it is, I'll remind you tomorrow. But I got a lot of ideas in the hopper of things that I'd really like to see produced here on Twitch. So I'm very excited about that. Taking some risk, right? Let's take some risk. Cruz said the way my knees set up. I was 8 when I was doing this, okay? I was 8. I had good ass knees then. All right. Okay. You know what? D-Man, that happened to one of my friends too. He actually missed the garage and broke his arm, unfortunately. So yeah, that's one of the things that made us stop jumping between the garages. But yeah, maybe that's a Midwest thing. Because I know you're in Ohio. But yeah, from garage, yeah. Oof, yeah. Okay. So what do I have coming up next? Well, next month, we're in March. We are in March. And March 7th will be my next show. And I would like to do a viewer's choice show. I haven't done that in a while. So, what a viewer's choice show is, where you all basically whisper me drinks that you would like for me to make on stream. I will make 3. I have one already. Kay Marie sent me a recipe for an espresso old fashioned that sounded absolutely delicious to me. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. But I need 2 more. So whoever's out there that has a drink that maybe they're like, oh, this sounds good. This sounds like something that maybe Lisa could make. Please, please make sure it's in the realm of brown. I'm not making anything with any vodka or any gin or any clears. I don't drink those, and I'm not going to drink those. But if it's something that has rum in it, cognac in it, whiskey of any sort, so remember that can be bourbon, scotch, moonshine, Japanese whiskey, Canadian whiskey. If it's something you want me to try that I've not tried, please whisper me and let me know this is something you want me to try. And then I'll get in touch with you and get the recipe from you. So viewer's choice is next Thursday. So enjoy dinner, DJ Funk Lord. And thank you so much for stopping through. I appreciate you so much. Make sure you follow DJ Funk Lord. That man is dope. All vinyl. Dope, dope, dope. Okay. He comes on Monday nights. DJ Funk Lord, drop your time in there real quick before you go, before you run off and make dinner. So that's what's coming up next Thursday, March 7th. So I plan to be here pretty much all of March. I might have one day near the end of March that I am going to be out for, because my mother will be 95 in March. March 20th is her birthday. So I am putting together something for her. So I'm not sure exactly when that's going to happen, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, and I just got the word. So March 21st, which is the day that I was thinking about not being here. And that works out because I just got the word that March 21st won't be here. That's perfect because my mother's birthday is on March 20th and she will be 95 years old. So I will be having something for her. And I have pretty kind of a busy weekend that week as well. So I will not be here on the 21st. However, I will be here next week on March 7th, viewer's choice. So please whisper me the recipes. Please, please, please. Anything that you want me to try, as long as it's brown, I'll do it. So I just want to say to you all, thank you so much for being here. I love all of you. I know there are 1,000 places you could be, 1,000 things you could be doing, but you're here. And even if you were not active in the chat, I hope that you were lurking and you listened in and you learned a little bit about being a risk taker, and maybe some of this stuff that I tried you might be interested in. If it's something you want to know about specifically, please feel free to whisper me. You can whisper me a Brown Whiskey Woman. I will respond to Lisa the X a little bit sooner because I'm going to see that, because that's basically like my alter ego, or maybe this is my alter ego. I don't know. One of them is. But I just want to thank you all for being here so much. Everything that you approach, please approach it with intention. It matters. And please move forward with your random acts of kindness. Please do your best to put some good out here in the world because there's enough negative stuff. So we need some people out here doing some good stuff. And I know y'all are good people and you'll do that. So let's take a look at where we can go. Let me look at the list and see who's up and where can we go. I think I know where I want to go, actually. Okay, it's a lot of people want to know. It's more than I thought. Wow, this is going to be kind of tough. I was so sure that I knew where I wanted to go. But okay, so there's a couple of things that I want to say though before we go. One thing I want to say. First of all, please tap up Big Stove. He is celebrating his 2-year anniversary, his 2-year Twitch anniversary, and he's been on for a minute. So please make sure you go in there and tell him happy anniversary and tap him up. But where I really think that I want to go at this point, because I've never had the opportunity to raid him because it just never seems like it happens this way. I want to go to Vader. The reason why I want to go to Vader is Vader and Brax are the two people that are primarily responsible for me being the brown whiskey woman on Twitch. They really encouraged me. They were people who said, you can do this. You need to do something with this whole being an executive bourbon steward. And I never, ever get to raid Vader. So let's raid over to Vader. Let's get out of here. And I will see you all next Thursday. Viewer's choice. I'll be waiting on your recipes. Please make sure you whisper me and then I'll get in touch with you and get the recipe from you. Anybody that has an idea. Also going through Stream Elements. Lainey Starr has coloring books for children on Amazon, and those are the direct links. So please make sure you click on that and support her. So thank you all very much. I love y'all, and I will see y'all next Thursday. Let's get on out of here and go see Vader and say, hey, Brax, how you doing? Thank you for the bits, Brax. I was just talking about you and saying how you and Vader were like the inspiration for me having this show. So I love y'all so much. And I thank you so much for encouraging me and pushing me and telling me I could do this. So thank you so much. Give Brax a follow. Brax, I'll be in there tomorrow modding for you. So yeah. So I'll see y'all.
My favorite bourbon. Take a sip of you, baby. I'm swerving from left to right, left to right. You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take 2 more shots, you know I'm swerving from left to right. All night. Would you call me old-fashioned if I kiss you in the rain in Manhattan? Oh, I can't wait until my lips are on yours. I can't help the way that I'm feeling. The way you look tonight is so appealing. Hold up, I need to